Hello, rugby fans, and welcome to this week's rugby edition of Sports News Once a Week, where we dive deep into the three biggest rugby stories that have fans, players, and coaches talking. This week has been intense, with shifts at the national and club levels that hint at some very interesting trends in the world of rugby. From high-stakes changes in England's roster to South Africa's strategic adjustments post-World Cup, and an intriguing on-field incident involving Gareth Anscombe, let's break it all down. Here's your top 3. Story 1. England's strategic adjustments and the return of key players. Let's kick things off with England's Autumn Nations Series preparation. The spotlight has been squarely on head coach Steve Borthwick, who has shaken up England's lineup with some notable returns and changes. This week, Borthwick unveiled the squad to face the All Blacks, bringing back Henry Slade and George Ford, both of whom have had limited play this season due to injury concerns. Slade's return, in particular, has fans excited and a bit anxious. He's only played about 55 minutes for Exeter this season, largely due to a shoulder injury. However, Borthwick's confidence in Slade's readiness to face New Zealand shows his faith in the player's experience and adaptability. Ford's return adds a competitive twist to the fly-half position. His availability after a strong World Cup performance is a strategic boon for England, especially as they face an All Blacks team that is eager to rebuild and reclaim its dominance under new head coach Scott Robertson. Borthwick's squad decisions indicate a focused approach to bolstering England's structure and adaptability, key components needed to turn Twickenham into the fortress he envisions. For England fans, this week has set the stage for what looks to be an intriguing series, not only against New Zealand but throughout the Autumn Nations as England continues its transformation under Borthwick's leadership. The anticipation surrounding England's lineup changes ties directly into the excitement for the Autumn Nations series. However, this isn't the only place we're seeing strategic overhauls. Our next story takes us south to another rugby powerhouse, the Springboks. Story 2. South Africa's post-World Cup player strategy. After their remarkable back-to-back World Cup victories, South Africa's Springboks are making headlines with the strategic release of a few key players from their lineup. Rassie Erasmus, the Springboks director of rugby, appears to be setting the stage for a fresh cycle, prioritizing long-term depth and strategic agility. This week's announcement saw several of last year's World Cup winning team members being rotated out as the Springboks prepare for their European tour. This decision highlights a forward-thinking approach to team management and reflects Erasmus's belief in a more versatile player base that can carry South Africa into the future. This lineup change is an interesting contrast to other teams that typically rely heavily on their World Cup stars for years following the tournament. Erasmus's rotation strategy addresses concerns about player burnout, keeping the squad's energy high, and ensuring newer players get valuable game time experience at an elite level. South Africa's approach also signals its growing commitment to a more rigorous player development program, which has shown incredible results, especially with recent URC, United Rugby Championship, graduates stepping up. This decision isn't without its challenges, though. Injuries to a few high-profile players mean South Africa's depth will be tested in upcoming matches. However, these strategic changes suggest Erasmus and the coaching staff are well prepared to navigate potential setbacks. For the Springboks, this week's lineup shift underscores a clear, long-term vision and provides fans with a compelling reason to follow their European tour as a stepping stone toward the team's future goals. While strategic team changes are essential for long-term success, the on-field intensity of club and international matches can sometimes lead to unexpected tensions. Our third story dives into one such incident that captured fan attention this past week. Story 3. Gareth Anscombe's sin-binning controversy in the URC. Our final story today centres around a dramatic moment from the United Rugby Championship, where Welsh fly-half Gareth Anscombe found himself in hot water after a heated exchange with the referee. This week's match saw Anscombe, who plays for the Ospreys, receive a yellow card after voicing his frustrations toward the official in what some fans felt was a somewhat heavy-handed reaction. While the specifics of Anscombe's remarks remain undisclosed, the incident has sparked broader conversations around player conduct, sportsmanship, and the balance between passion and professionalism on the pitch. In recent years, rugby's governing bodies have emphasized respect for match officials, and many argue that incidents like Anscombe's could lead to stricter enforcement of conduct rules. Rugby traditionally prides itself on the respect shown to referees by players and coaches alike, which makes incidents like this one especially notable. On one hand, fans want players to showcase their drive and emotions, but on the other, the line between spirited play and disrespect can be very fine. While some fans and analysts feel Anscombe's sin binning was overly punitive, others argue that it reinforces the importance of maintaining a respectful atmosphere, even in high-pressure situations. As this debate continues, we may see rugby leagues around the world revisiting their conduct policies, possibly implementing stricter protocols to prevent similar situations in the future. For now, Anscombe's case serves as a timely reminder of the challenges players face in managing their emotions and upholding the core values of rugby. And there you have it, this week's top 3 in rugby. From England's strategic adjustments under Steve Borthwick to the Springboks' forward-thinking lineup changes, and a spirited debate about player conduct in the URC, it's clear that the rugby world is buzzing with energy, change, and, as always, a bit of controversy. What's exciting about these stories is that they reflect the broader shifts in rugby. Teams are evolving, strategies are adapting, and the emotional intensity of the game continues to challenge both players and officials. As the Autumn Nations series unfolds and club competitions heat up, we'll likely see even more captivating moments in the weeks to come. Stay tuned to see how these storylines progress, and don't forget to check back next week for another edition. Until then, keep the passion for rugby alive, and as always, play hard and stay respectful. See you next time.